It has been another long day of watching and waiting just outside Miami Beach, where a residential building collapsed early Thursday. Officials have now confirmed 4 are dead, with 159 still unaccounted for, leaving families clinging to hope. Stephanie Sy has our report.
It's been over 24 hours since part of the 12-story Champlain Towers condominium collapsed in Surfside, Florida. Search and rescue crews spent last night and all day today methodically combing through concrete and twisted metal, eyes and ears alert for potential survivors. Miami-Dade County Mayor Daniela Levine Cava says it's risky work.
We are going to work as hard as we can to continue our search and rescue effort. That is our priority. That is where we're focused, and protecting our first responders who are on the scene.
The crews started in the flooded basement parking garage of the building, trying to tunnel upward into the wreckage. The disaster has touched people from many countries and communities, united by hope that missing relatives will be found alive.
It's unbelievable. Everything comes to your mind except positive things. You just believe in God and let God guide you to this.
It's a struggle. We are praying every minute. We're hopeful that she's there, alive, and we're going to see her soon and be able to hold her hand and kiss her. And we love her so much.
President Biden commented on the situation before commemorating Pride Month at the White House.
We sent the best people from FEMA down there. We're going to stay with them with the disaster declaration we made, provide for everything from housing to, God forbid, whether there's a need for moratoria for the bodies to be placed. Everything in between. It's a tough, tough time. There's so many people waiting. Are they alive? Will it happen? And so our heart goes out to them.
Back in Surfside, Florida, Governor Ron DeSantis promised the cause of the building's collapse will be identified.
We need a definitive explanation for how this could have happened. And that's an explanation that needs to be an accurate explanation. It's an explanation that we don't want to get wrong, obviously. But at the same time, I do think it's important that it's timely.
Mayor Charles Burkett said they need answers, but the more urgent priority is getting to possible survivors.
Those buildings should have never fallen down. Buildings like that don't fall down in America. This is a first world country. That doesn't happen here. There's something very wrong, but that's for another day. Today, we're going to save lives. That's what we're going to do.
And for the latest, I'm joined by Patricia Mazzei, Miami bureau chief for the New York Times. She's in Surfside, Florida, covering the ongoing search and rescue operation. Patricia, thank you for being with us. You know, Governor DeSantis described the scene there as traumatic. You're on the ground. How would you describe it?
It is devastating to see. You don't expect a building to have half of its apartments sort of sheared off. It looks like an earthquake or a bomb. I mean, not the sort of thing that you expect to happen. As one survivor put it, just on your building. And this was a lady who saw the apartment next to her was gone. So she said, everything but up to my apartment, everything else was gone. They thought it was an earthquake, so they left the building, and then they realized it was just part of their building that had fallen down. It's truly shocking.
So FEMA, Patricia, the federal rescue workers were called in. What is currently going on with the search and rescue effort, and how intense is it?
It is massive in terms of the number of people we have seen roll in here, convoys of state emergency workers from the city of Miami, from every local municipality, from other counties in the state. The big task forces that FEMA runs are here. But there are limitations and challenges. When you are working in these tunnels underground, only small teams can go in at a time and do this sort of back-breaking work of drilling through concrete and then seeing how much more you can drill, using specialized cameras to see where it is safe to shore up the area, using specialized listening equipment to see if you can hear any signs of life. And that's not just voices, that's tapping, scratching, the movement of metal, any signs that somebody might be in there. And then you have to battle sort of the elements. it is not a sunny day with a nice ocean breeze. There have been intermittent thunderstorms that have hampered the visibility of the crews. While there is so much humidity that every time there is a fire, and we have seen several, which tends to happen when debris shifts around, every time there's a fire, the smoke lingers and the rain sort of keeps it down and it affects people's breathing. So it is a complicated scene. It's not sort of the optimal conditions to be working in.
What is the mood there, Patricia? And as more time passes without more survivors being rescued, have you seen that mood change?
The relatives of the people who are missing have grown increasingly frustrated. At first, they seemed frustrated because they couldn't visually see with the naked eye from afar the movement of the crews. That's because they were working underground. Now there is more heavy machinery and more movement above ground. But you understand people who are desperate. They sort of wanted to go in themselves and move the rubble with their own bare hands. And what the authorities say is that it is very precarious and dangerous work and that it has to be done slowly and methodically. But of course, as every hour passes, people are less and less hopeful.
And we should say that the medical examiner there has identified the first victim, 54-year-old Stacy Fang, a mother. Patricia Mazzei with the New York Times. What an anxiety-provoking wait for all those folks. Thank you for joining us with the latest.
Thank you.